So this is what we're doing. We're planting 2 trees, 1 cedar, 1 Douglas fir. We'll plant 2 cedars when we run out of Douglas fir, in hopes that 1 makes it, and then putting a little flag on it so then we remember next year. First of all, 2 things. The flag tells us that we don't run over it with the tractor when we're mowing, and 2, if we weed eat around here next year, be careful so we don't hit the little trees. So we're going to go around to all the stumps that exist from days of old around the property that are, some are really easy to see and others are really quite hidden. That's the plan until we run out of trees. Well, we're weed eating around the stump, and it's just nice to get a good swath of weed eating done, because normally we don't weed eat around these. So there's a lot of older grass that you can't get up with the mower, and maybe some thicker bushes like salmonberry bushes, or some kind of just sticks and brambles that need to be taken care of. So this takes a little bit of time. I do use the regular, it's a square type of line. I could possibly use like the really aggressive bushwhacking head on there, but then I would be in fear of hitting the stump and twanging off that. So I just use the regular weed eater twine and go around on there. It's a little bit of noise and hacking and bushing, and it gets caught up in the thing sometimes. Especially the stinging nettle can be really bad, especially when it gets old. The stinging nettle almost turns into like a sinew. I think the Aboriginals used to use it for tying together like fishing net. It gets that sinewy. I can see why. So that's what we're doing right now, just getting things cleaned up. And then just surveying the area to see where is best to plant the trees. I'm going to try planting 2 trees. Put one right here. Pass me a tree, please.
What type of tree? What type of tree, Dad?
One of each. Planting the cedar here on this side and just getting it put in well, and then we're going to plant the Douglas fir on the other side. You'll see the end result. Or actually we plant this Douglas fir on the top. I think I steal some dirt and put it on the top. 2 trees, 1 cedar, 1 Douglas fir. Here's the second stump. It's an old cedar, but I've kept, these are black caps. So if I keep those around there, then we should be able to come up, and this one is half black caps and half something else. I think that's there we go. There's a nice fresh black cap right there. I might whack those out of there because those are dead, but the rest is nice growth. So I think I'll put the tree on the high side here, like on the high ground side, so then it's less chance of getting hit. And the second one, I maybe can get some dirt and put it in there just for the fun of it and see what happens. Why not? Third stump. I put it in fast speed here because it's kind of the same old. But the brush here looks pretty thick, but this gets done every year. It's just that's how quickly the brush grows. Like a month ago there'd be nothing here, and then all of a sudden, boom, the weeds take off. So there's grass mixed in here, there's stinging nettle, there's salmon berries, I don't know what kind of tree. There's a really wispy tree. I don't know what I call it, a Lombardy, but it's not a Lombardy. But it's just a lot of growth that happens along here, and that's just the nature of living in the bush. Here's where I have some line trouble. I'm trying to get more line out by hitting the bottom to push the wheel up to make the feed come out. But yeah, I think this is where I run out of line. But I'm just trimming up these little, they're not even salmon berries necessarily, but they're similar to it. I think I leave them on there the best I can, or do I chop them right off? I can't remember. They are definitely a nuisance, so if I chop them right off, it doesn't bother me. But if I leave them, I understand why I left them too. Kind of looks appropriate. So you should see a line change here, and then we plant the trees and get back to stump clearing and tree planting. So we ran out of weed eating line. And I'm just biting the end because when I cut it with the snips, it kind of flattens it and makes it not square, so it doesn't fit into the appropriate hole.
I spin this. I don't know if this is rumor or what, but they say instead of going like around and round and round, if you spin the wheel, less prone to bind. But I don't know. Stuff binds no matter what. So I do the top part first, put it into the little notch so it holds, because this is a real pain if it ever unwinds on you. It's like frustrating. Little clippers. And do it all over again. Whoa. That was a greasy spot on the wheel there. And second spool, and you see on the back it shows you which way to wind it with the arrow. See the arrow? Mm-hmm. So I wind it this way, so I gotta turn it this way. I know you can get these new ones where you can put it in and twist it in, but I find I have one of those and it doesn't, they say it's all that in a bag of chips, but it really doesn't work very well. Just the old school way of doing this is best. It's almost there. A few more spins. And then I put it up to the other side. Put this away. Keep going.
Yep.
Put this back in here. And then show you how it goes into here. These have a tendency to come out, so be very careful. So I kind of line this up, push it underneath. It's got these little tabs that I make sure I put under here. And I can take this out, put it into there, and it holds. Put the top on, line it up. There it is. There we go. Maybe one more for good luck. It's a little bit long, so it'll cut here off on itself. So when I start it up, that'll be the weird ticking sound. There you go. So I had to cut its top off. There you go. 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 There No. I'll get 2 trees, please, and a
One,
shovel.
2.
You're gonna have to move the bucket. We're gonna go one right here. It's funny, it's more sawdusty than dirt. I'll put one over here. It's a little froggy. There's a good spot. I don't know if these will take, but all you can do is try.
Here.
Let's put up a little stake. That's good. And hopefully we see this with the tractor and also remember where the trees are. I'll show you. There's one little cedar there. There's the ribbon. There's the Doug fir. Maybe one will grow. And if both grow, we'll just live with it. Good time. So this one was interesting. As we went around the stump, there was actually some cedars in here, 2 of them. Baby cedars already in the top there. So we left them and then we planted a Doug fir beside the other part of the stump. Put a little flag there so we don't hit it. Interesting. Give me one of each, please.
Here.
How many more do we have after that?
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 14.
of each. What time is it on there?
Are you gonna do that stump over there, Dad?
Yep. And I know this is a pretty redundant process of weed eating around it and planting the trees and putting up the post with the flag, but I wanted to keep this all intact to show what we had done. So if I look back at this in 6 years, I can see exactly a record of what was done. And I didn't, if I skip some stuff, then it gets kind of lost in the translation of time, so to speak. So that's why I'm showing all the stumps and the processes. And also I just like looking at the scenery, because when you're out there doing it, sometimes you don't think to lift your eyes and look around at the nice green leaves and the sunshine beaming through. And it was kind of a fun time with Allison to do this. So it's tough. It's tough, eh? Grab one more.
All of them?
Just two.
Here.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a little garter snake there.
Really?
Must have hit a little baby.
Where is it?
Oh, it went off into the bushes now. Excuse me. Okay, cedar. You can plant it in there. Put it in deep. Then you gotta use your foot. Push it down and no, you gotta, the top poop part has to be deeper than that. The roots can't be exposed. Yeah, push them way down. Push it pretty hard. It seems kind of weird, I know, for a little baby, but there we go.
take the dirt too.
I'll take this out first.
What even is it?
A root.
From what?
Something. Something ugly. Look at the centipede there.
Where?
See it?
Yeah.
Keep going, little buddy. I'm not trying to squish you. I'm trying to plant the tree.
Oh.
There we go.